Hello, welcome to the next episode of Cooking with Nicole tonight. Tonight we are going to have breakfast for supper. Well, I'm actually making it in advance so that breakfast will be ready tomorrow morning. You know, going back to that convenience factor, that is probably the number one sabotage for people when they're trying to manage their weight. We need things quick. We need it easy. I don't want to get out of bed 10 minutes early to make breakfast. I have my kids, I need to get out the door. I know right now our lifestyle is a little different with COVID, but you know, in the sense that we're going back to normalcy here, hopefully very shortly, of course, that need for quick and convenience is going to be there again. And I've had a number of requests for breakfast options and ideas that don't involve eggs. And so this is another option. Yesterday I made oatmeal. Today here is some low carb sausage balls for you. Quick, easy things to make up in advance. Bake them and then put them either in the refrigerator or freeze them and get a couple out at a time as you need. Microwave them up, out the door you go. It's important that we don't miss that meal. Can you miss that meal? Yes. In the fasting world, that is an okay situation, and that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day that hopefully I can get to you. And actually, if you're interested in more intermittent fasting information, Dr. Barry and I from the Wellness District did a podcast about intermittent fasting, and it is located on the Wellness District Facebook page. So if that is a topic you're interested in, go check that out, and you've got some more info on intermittent fasting. But for those of you who like to start out your day with some food, and you know, it is recommended that you do, this is another great option for you. Higher in protein, low in carbs, and it's going to give you that good fuel to start your day off. You don't want to start out with sugar because we're only going to burn sugar and we're going to be hungry, and most importantly, we're not going to be able to burn fat. But if we start out with proteins and fats, we keep that insulin factor down, and insulin is the gatekeeper to fat burning. So when insulin is down, we can access and burn that body fat more effectively throughout the whole entire day. Plus, we aren't going to be struggling with that roller coaster of I'm hungry after 2 hours of eating. I mean, have you ever been there? I remember before I started eating in this lifestyle fashion that I would skip breakfast a lot of the times, quite honestly. But then on the days that I would have something like Cheerios or you know, a muffin or something of that nature, inevitably I would be hungry. And I even thought to myself, oh my gosh, I even ate breakfast this morning and I'm hungrier today than I was yesterday when I skipped breakfast. The reason for that is because of that insulin response. And this breakfast meal is going to get you on track to start your day off right. So it's an easy recipe, does involve a little bit of baking, but in my big bowl here, I have a cup of almond flour, and then to that we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 of a cup of Parmesan shredded cheese, 1 egg, and 8 ounces, 8 ounces or 1 package of shredded cheese. Now to me this looks like way more than 8 ounces, I don't know, but I promise you I did measure it out with a food scale and this is what I came up with. Seems like a lot of cheese, but there we go. And then 1 pound of sausage. Now I'm using turkey sausage, but you can use good old pork sausage, you can use Jimmy Dean, you can use sage, you can use maple flavor, you can use a spicy flavor, whatever you want to use, whatever your preferred sausage type you can use. But tonight I'm going to use the Jenny O turkey sausage. There we go. And then we're just going to combine this together after we add in our spices. We got some pepper here and some garlic powder. You know, I call my seasoning a lot of time my mirepoix, which is just kind of a fancy French name, I think, for, you know, a group of ingredients. Mirepoix actually is carrots, onion, and celery used most frequently because in most fancy cooking, that's what people use to develop a flavor base for their dish. But this is my mirepoix. It's always going to be salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion, and probably more than likely a little bit of cayenne because I like a little bit of spice, especially if I'm not cooking for my kids, because they aren't as big of fans of the spice like I am. And here is my little bit of cayenne pepper. All right, so we're all set here. And a couple of ways you can mix this. You can mix it with a hand mixer, or if you have a stand mixer, you can put it in there, mix it until it's all well incorporated. I'm gonna get in there with my hands tonight and mix it all up. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna mix this all up and I'll bring you back when we're ready to put them onto the tray. All right, so we're back. We got our meat mixture all made up here. I will tell you there was a moment of panic of, oh my gosh, I think we're gonna need another egg or a splash of cream to kind of combine it, because at first it was really dry with all of that cheese and the almond flour. But never fail, here we go, all mixed together. I didn't have to add a thing. This is exactly the recipe as laid out. So here we go. We got our meat mixture, and now we're gonna create our sausage balls. I'm gonna use a little cookie scoop to measure out the ball, and we'll put it on our baking sheet that has a sill pad on it. You can also use a baking sheet with some parchment paper on it if you'd like. I like the sill pats because they make cleanup really easy, and they cook a little better without getting too burnt brown on the bottom and that kind of thing. So this recipe is to make somewhere between 20 to 22 sausage balls. A serving size is 2 sausage balls. The calories for those 2 sausage balls are 220 calories. It is only 1 gram of net carb, and you're getting 10 grams of protein per 2 sausage balls. So that's a really good deal. And even if you wanted to have 4 sausage balls in the morning, you're still under a teaspoon of sugar, or still under 5 grams of net carb. Yep, it's a little more calorically dense, but you know, that's the time of day that we should be spending more of those calories anyway, so that we're not feeling overly hungry later on in the afternoon around that 3-4 o'clock time of thing. And plus then you'd be at 20 grams of protein as well. So you want to make the sausage balls about just under a golf ball size. And we're going to, this one is just a little smaller than that, and that's kind of almost like a ping pong ball size of things. And we're just going to make them out like that. Place them on our tray, line them all out, and then I'm going to put them in the oven, which has been preheating at 350, and we're going to bake them for 20 to 22 minutes. Once they're all out, they're done. Another funny thing about this recipe is they make a great appetizer. So if you're having, once we're able to get back together again, if you're having an event and you're needing to bring something for a potluck, this is where I actually found the recipe. It is under appetizers and wasn't necessarily under a breakfast listing. So wherever you want to put them. I hope you enjoy this recipe. I hope you learned a few little good tidbits tonight. And this is your sweet deal. We'll have a picture at the end for you to show you what it looks like when they all came out. Bye-bye.